Okay, you're watching me hook up the phone and go live as we talk. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Master Paul. I am deeply honored to be here today with you on this live stream. Let's see, today is May 26th, 2016. I'm going to make sure that I'm actually live on live stream. I think it's going to work here shortly. I have to make sure I can hear myself. Okay, so that's working. Yay, I love technology most of the time. Today, my Skype program, well, I should say for the last 4 months, my Skype program has had a bug in it. So if you're on my Skype list and you receive a link, don't click on it. Always click on something if I talk to you first and say this is for you. Some bug is going through my Skype program. So I like technology most of the time. Today is a bit questionable as far as that. So I've decided to upgrade to Windows 10 since it might be my only solution. So thank you all. I know that many of you are coming to the live stream now, so I kind of just do some general communication for the first minute or so here. Welcome, Vanessa. Thank you for joining me. I know that, Vanessa, you have some neck, back, and shoulder pain going on. I'm guessing that's one of the reasons why you have joined. Today is about what is the deeper reasons for the pain that we are experiencing. For it's not just physical pain also. There's definitely emotional pain. The pain comes to us in many different forms. So we will be discussing a bit of that today as we move forward. Welcome, Margaret. Welcome, Katie. Welcome, all of those that will be coming on the line that I won't be able to say welcome to in person when you watch this at a later time. I'm very grateful in advance for your comments and your sharing of this. I cannot serve humanity unless more people know about it, so we're very grateful for that. So each day I try to decide, what will be my focus today. And pain has been coming up a couple different ways. And it's curious, when I did a blessing the other day, I was just checking with her, and I asked, this person, she's getting blessings for her message center, but I checked in with her on her pain in her body to see what was going on, and she had pretty much back pain all over her whole body. There's neck, shoulders, middle back, lower back. And so I offered a soul operation for her, which I may do today as a demonstration. And it didn't do anything, which is really rare. I mean, I've offered about 500 of these, and I'd say 480 or so have had definitely a noticeable difference. So it's amazing to me that it didn't work. So when I asked guidance as to why, it was because the majority of her blockage was in her heart center. She had been holding on to so much grief, pain, and suffering for so long that literally it had locked up. I mean, she just was like this. And so when I did a blessing for that area, back pain went away. So it was a good aha moment for me. It was a good lesson for me. So welcome, Stephanie. I see your comment, Katie. The doggies are grateful too. Great. And Alistair is experiencing some back and hip pain at this time, but he's doing well. Well, I'm sure he's chatting with Mr. Ping, who is a Divine Paws dog healer. That might be the ideal scenario for him. Margaret, welcome. Hi, Master Paul. Thank you for the opportunity to join. I'm so happy you joined us, Margaret. So, going back towards the subject of pain. As we move forward, we have quite a few opportunities to transform different areas in our life. A lot of them show up in ways that we would not expect, and in almost every case when we have an unpleasant experience in our life, we get a bill we're not expecting, we have a boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other that says we got to talk, or someone we care about gets hurt or leaves us. All these different things come at us from many, many angles, and they create emotional pain. They create mental pain. Today I had mental pain. I mentioned at the beginning the Skype issue. And I was really, really frustrated by this, to the point of angry. And as divine channels, we can't be angry. And I had to stop and go, why am I so angry about this? And it boiled down to looking bad. It was actually ego-based, believe it or not. I was really upset that I looked bad to all those people who received this this Skype, this spam that was running through my Skype. It was something that I had tried to fix unsuccessfully, and it was really disappointing, actually, that I had not been able to do it. And it was disappointing that 2 or 3 times I've had to email all these or Skype all these people and say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not intelligent enough to get rid of this. I've ran 3 virus scans, etc. So that's an example of pain. It can come from ego. It can come from many different directions. So this 1 hour, we're going to focus on pain. And towards the last 15 minutes, to the last maybe 15 or 20 minutes, I will do a demonstration, possibly 2. It depends on what you guys post. So I'd like to know what your pain is, something that's measurable. Physical pain is obviously very measurable and can usually be impacted pretty readily with these soul healing blessings. But some of us carry different pains, a mental or an emotional pain. Those can also be measured as well, depending on how predominant they are. If it just kind of comes and goes, that's not measurable. That's not something that we can identify as, sure, we're clear on that. But if you are in a heavy place and a blessing is offered, you'll know when you feel lighter. That's an example of a pain being released. So one of the unique things about this, welcome Esther, welcome Renee, welcome Stephanie, welcome Cat. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your support. Truly appreciate it. So one of the teachings that Dr. and Master Sha has brought to humanity is that everything has a reason. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Everything has a source. And everything has a reason. And the reason is in our spiritual debt and or our spiritual virtue. So when something happens to someone we care about, we can be very attached to that. We can be unattached from it. We can be empathetic towards it. It's different ways that their activity can impact us painfully. It depends on our attachment to them. Pain has many different ways in which it can impact us. When we address any source of pain from the point of origination, the point where it is born, we can have the highest propensity of success in dissolving it. So for example, when we're dealing with an emotional pain, most cases we know where it's originating from. Some cases we don't. It's evolved from a combination of things and we're unable to pinpoint it. We can generally tell where it's stuck. It's stuck in the heart center, and that's generally the case. But it's not always the case. We could, for example, have liver pain, and that can be tied back to an emotion of anger, because each one of our organs has an associated emotion. So when we look at where is the origination of pain, it all lies on the soul level. It all rests at the level of soul. I want you to visualize for me for a moment. Imagine that in the soul world, your soul is up there. It's hanging out, it's enjoying, it's talking to God, it's talking to all the other souls. And you have a physical representation of it here. Your soul is with you. Sometimes it can be over there. The soul is not limited by time and space, so it can absolutely be in multiple places. Most of the time the soul hangs out with us. Sometimes it's upstairs. The soul never dies. The soul lives forever. Now, you probably agree with that. Some people may or may not agree that the physical body lives only once or lives many, many times. We're not going to talk about that today. But in terms of where does pain come from and how can we resolve some of this pain, what we want to look at is, where's the origination of it at? What we want to look at is there an initial beginning source? And the soul is where we can look for that at. The soul is the carrier of your records from all of your lifetimes of all of your choices. And when we look at how that can come to us, if, for example, you and or ancestors have harmed others in the region of the neck, there are some lifetimes when you might not have had a choice, you had to go to war, and others were harmed in the area of the neck, etc. Then that is an example of a spiritual debt that sits at the level of soul on your record. And in the current life experience, it can manifest in the physical form. Same thing happens if we harm others in the form of, let's say, heartache. Then we have heart pain, quite a bit of it. And so this is another manifestation of causing an emotional pain that manifests on the physical level. So these kinds of manifestations have an origination where they're reflected at. Soul healing, Tao healing, works. And it works very well, dependent upon the level of the spiritual debt that is causing the problem. But it works very well on a consistent basis. One of the reasons why is because the blessings are not to the individual person. They're not to the physical body. They're not to that person's emotion as it's acting up in the body. The blessings are directly to the soul. So when you talk to a soul healer, when you see Master Sha, when you talk to any of his worldwide representatives, when you receive a blessing from any of Master Sha's healers, Divine Healing Hands healers, there are many that have joined the line here today. There are many in the world. I can serve you. Any of them can serve you. We are all here to serve you. When they offer a blessing, why does it work? It works because they are asking the Divine, through the soul of Master Sha, they are asking the Divine to please forgive the spiritual debt that had been incurred by you or your ancestors that is creating a blockage at the soul level that is reflecting at the physical level. Can you visualize that? The blockage in the neck, for example, is literally on the neck of the soul. And it follows you from lifetime to lifetime. You might have soul pain in this lifetime in your neck, but you might not know without a soul reading that that pain has followed you for hundreds of lifetimes. It's certainly possible. That's one of the unique things about Tao healing, soul healing, is that it acknowledges everything is recognizable at the level of soul. And therefore everything can be dissolved, healed, removed at that same level. Today you will have the opportunity to experience a soul healing demonstration. I see some people making requests. I'm just kind of watching them as I'm talking. I will come back to those. So thank you for posting. I do appreciate that. And so as we look at how this works, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Again, I know by who's tuned in how aware you are. Some of this might be new information for you. Some of it might be older information for you. And thank you, Renee, for posting my pain is a 4 out of 10, for example. It's very important for all of you that have made a request to go back in and let me know what your pain level is for the particular condition that you have. Because we wanted to see if there's a measurable difference. You can't just say I have pain and I have no pain now. For the person that watches this later, it doesn't resonate with them. They don't grasp the differential. So why does soul healing work? Why does Tao healing work? The reason it works is because at the level of soul, the debt is forgiven. It's very, very simple. When I saw Master Sha the first time about 8 or 9 years ago, I witnessed him offering soul healing blessings, doing exactly what I am so honored to do through his channel, through the transmissions and abilities he has blessed me with. And because of that receiving of this transmission, I can now do what he was doing back then. And when I witnessed at that time, I was like, I don't get this. How does this work? What I've come to understand is that he would say divine order. he would turn on a healing transmission and offer the word transmission. And at that time, what was happening at the heavenly realms was that heaven was giving an order to the heaven's generals and soldiers. Heaven has generals and soldiers. And the heaven's generals and soldiers would go to the soul of that person, where the darkness was. And they would round up that darkness associated with the debt, and they would, in essence, pay them off. They would be forgiven. They would be obligated to forgive the soul of that person and their ancestors for the pain that had been causing to their neck. That's why they came, to remind them. And so they are, in essence, forgiven, paid off. Divine does that not only with his love, but what is his love? Divine's love is positive virtue, good karma. So virtue is what paid off the debt. Today we are going to spend a little bit of time doing practice. We're going to do some forgiveness practice, and I want you to report to me what your differential is in the pain. Because you can go to divine channels like myself, other healers, and they can absolutely assist you. You'll have to pay an honor fee for it. The range can be anywhere between $50 and $1,000 depending on the severity of the issue. But you can also resolve this yourself, which is of course what we want to do. If you cannot, then you want to look at receiving blessings from one of the healers, because they have connections, I guess is the best way to put it. We work with one of the most profound healers on the planet, and therefore we have the ability and opportunity to serve through that master and his abilities to help assist in the removal of the spiritual debt. Forgiveness and service are the two key ways to transform pain. So we're going to do a forgiveness practice right now. So all of you that have any source of pain, I see measurements coming up now. I appreciate that. We're going to do this forgiveness practice together. And the purpose of this is to acknowledge the souls. Your neck has a soul, your back has a soul, every part of you has a soul. And the simple reason why is everything comes from Creator. Everything comes from God, Source. Doesn't matter the name, everything comes from there. Every speck of energy and matter that forms the cell, that forms the liver, that forms the brain, all comes from Source. Everything has divine in it, everything has a soul. And so when we communicate at the soul level and ask for forgiveness, we can create profound results. So practice with me. Place your hands like this, left hand over your heart center, right hand in soul light era soul service hand position. This is a position that connects a heart center to heaven. That's the positioning of it. Okay? Relaxed. Repeat after me. I will keep my eyes open. Please close your eyes. Dear Divine, dear Tao, dear Source, dear this teacher Master Sha, I truly appreciate you and your service, and I love you. Could you please bless this forgiveness practice? We always call divine beings to serve. They have much higher light and frequency. Continue. Dear all souls, I love you. Dear all the souls that I and my ancestors have harmed, especially in the region where I am experiencing pain. All the souls that I have harmed, especially in the region where I am experiencing pain. If this has been caused by me or my ancestors, please come. I wish to deeply and sincerely apologize to you. I have experienced pain in this area, and I am awakening that I might have caused this pain upon others. I am not aware of that, but I am awakening to that awareness. And if I have created any form of pain and suffering to you, especially in these areas where I am suffering, I wish to deeply and sincerely apologize. I am not that kind of person now. I have learned my lessons. I ask you to sincerely forgive me. I ask you to please allow me and my ancestors to move forward without these continued lessons. For all the pain and suffering you have brought to me, to my ancestors, to remind us, to remind me of the pain we have caused you, I offer you now my unconditional forgiveness. Please, please, please forgive me. Please forgive my ancestors. Keep your eyes closed. Now we will chant divine forgiveness. Divine forgiveness. And as we do that, send your greatest love to those souls that may have been harmed in the same areas. Let us chant together. Divine forgiveness, 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 true forgiveness. Deeply be regretful for any actions you might have caused upon others. It does not matter if you remember it. Be truly regretful. Divine forgiveness, 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 divine forgiveness. And now I will turn on my highest divine forgiveness treasures that I have received, that you could also receive through Master Sha's books. I have received over 200 forgiveness treasures, each one with a higher layer. I will ask them now to serve you, dear my divine treasures, all divine treasures for forgiveness. Please turn on. Please radiate to all those on the line. Offer your greatest divine forgiveness. Divine Tao and Source forgiveness, 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 divine Tao and Source forgiveness. My forgiveness treasures, please return. Okay, so all of you open your eyes, check, move your body, kind of cry, move your shoulders, move your body. See what difference that choice might have made. Welcome, Chris. Thank you for joining us. Yvonne, I see your comment was not completed. Okay, let's see what we got here. Wonderful. So, in case you're unable to comprehend what Yvonne is sharing, I did a consultation with her a few weeks ago, and I'm not sure if it was live or not. You can let me know, Yvonne, if it was live. I offered a soul operation for a pain in her heel, which was an 8-9 out of 10 scale. And that's pretty painful, and it had been there for 6 months. That's a long time to have an 8-9 pain. And I offered the soul operation, and nothing happened. And so I did a soul reading as to what was the source of her pain and why nothing happened with the soul operation, because it typically has a very noticeable result. And what the reading was, and you'll see it in her notes if you look at Yvonne's notes, was that there was a horse. And in this lifetime, Yvonne had taken the life of this horse when it had simply broken its ankle. Because that was the thing to do. The horse was shocked because it was not expecting this kind of suffering. It was not expecting to be put out of its misery because it had just broken its ankle. And so that karma had followed her and reminded her at this time. And so I told her, Yvonne, you know, Divine's not willing to release this because I don't do the blessings. Divine does the blessings. Divine is not willing to release this until you do deeper forgiveness practice, like what we are doing today. If you read her notes, she says she's been doing this for a while now, close to 2 weeks. Her pain is now close to half. And that's just doing the forgiveness practice after 6 months of a consistent pain. So that shows you the power of forgiveness. So the divine simply will not just let something go if somebody needs to learn a lesson. In Yvonne's case, she is a powerful healer and she is dedicating her life to serve humanity. So Divine wanted to give her that lesson so that she could be of greater service to others. So hopefully you see that wisdom, Yvonne. Welcome, Pat JD. Thank you for joining. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these comments on your pain and suffering. And we'll do a soul reading and then decide 1 or 2 blessings from some lucky participant, okay? I'm backing up to one of the beginning. And welcome, Magdalena. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, Esther, I have pain in my hands of arthritis. Sometimes it's that hard you can't touch them. Okay. Esther, I did not see a scale, a pain scale. If you wrote that in, I'll see it in a minute. But if you did not, please let me know. Thank you. Katie, I am currently experiencing pain at my huelu and tailbone. The pain is about a 5 out of a 10. I know that this pain is in a significant area in terms of the spiritual reasons, and I'm not sure why. Okay. Vanessa, hi, Master Paul. Yes, I have chronic pain in my neck and upper back. Sometimes it's like a nerve pinch, and that gives me headaches, and they're almost like migraines. I've noticed that when I noticed that when I leave the temple in Vancouver, my migraines get activated. Maybe an hour later, I feel better. Why does this happen, and which practice could I heal myself? Great questions. Okay, so let's do a few soul readings on that, and then we'll come back around to, I have to check who is the appropriate one to offer the blessing to. So ask God, please, me, and because I don't choose. So let's do a quick soul reading for Esther, arthritis in her hands. Dear Heaven, Thou Source, to the soul of Esther, to the soul of the reason for the pain in her hands, please offer any guidance, wisdom, and insights for why this is present. Thank you. How? For our dear Esther, this is actually related to negative memories. There was a lifetime in which you burned both hands to an inusable degree in saving the lives of others. This is your compassionate heart. But in this lifetime, it created great physical pain for you the remainder of your life. This pain has stayed on your auric field for a while. For you, do self-forgiveness for making the choice to serve those others. It would be of value to consider a blessing specific to that. But we can check later as to what kind of blessing. It might be a very specific one. Okay, Katie. Welu area, 5 out of a 10. There's 2 things going on here at the same time, Katie. One is an activation of some treasures that you have to kind of kickstart you, and the other is a blockage from, like we talked about the other day. You know, when I mentioned to you soul language, when you get started and then you stop and you can't quite come out again, your energy is not going around your entire circle correctly. So chant the 7 soul houses and see what that does for you. Okay, Vanessa, pain in neck, back, upper region, nerve pinch. Vanessa, please type in what, if any, blessings you have received from the Vancouver temple for this, so I can because I'm hearing that there's an emotional tie into it. I'm hearing that there's a very specific emotional tie associated with it. I want to make sure that those bases have covered. So I'll keep scrolling. Let me know what you have received so far. Yvonne, it's my third time to request on 2 friends. It is your third time, Yvonne. It's the first time it's showed up in my actual live event. Thank you for your persistence. I was on your white Chinese cloth live stream on my tablet. You were wearing blue. That made me double check and realized I'm on the wrong spot. Yes. Okay. Renee, my neck is constantly stiff. On the right side, it's at a level 4 out of 10. I'm going to keep scrolling to see if the forgiveness practice has made a difference. Yvonne YCK had work injury to his left wrist on the border of the left waist on the border of the pelvic bone. Stays about a 3 or 4 pain scale. Did physical therapy, chiropractic, pain meds, acupuncture. Now seeking soul reading. Okay. And number 2, chiropractor had bitter marriage. He said he didn't know he'd never get married. He stays in it to take care of his children. I told both the root cause might be karma. Now they are seeking the soul. Reading for guidance. Thanks, Master Paul. Good. They need that, definitely. I'll come back to you, Yvonne. You're using the apple. We talked about that. 11th day. Thank you for sharing on that, Yvonne, for your pain. Again, aloha, Chris. Thank you for joining. She did sincere forgiveness practice. 50% pain. That's awesome. Okay. Kayla Darling joined. Thank you, Kayla Darling. Pat JD. Master Paul, I have spinal column pain for many years. Hope to get some release. Okay. Let's do a soul reading on this. Soul of Pat JD, soul of the conditions she's experienced with the spinal pain for years, and the highest and best guidance, wisdom, and blessings that can be offered for this. What might be the source? So there was a lifetime, Pat, where it was a country where everything was moved using mules, and it was an ore of a kind. It might have been a gold or a silver or an ore, something that was heavy, and you were responsible for the movement of the mules. You got paid by the bucket load, and so you would, in this lifetime, you would overload the mules. You would put as much as you possibly can on their backs, both sides, and you would run them up and down the mountain every day, twice a day. And this is where this karma is originating from. So that's a curious one. I will keep that in mind when we come back around to see if blessings can be offered for that. Katie, thank you, Master Paul. My pain in my tailbone was in a 5, now it's a 3 after the forgiveness. I'm now experiencing the pain traveling up to the mid-back and my head. Curious, that goes back to the circulation issues that I read. I hadn't read this part yet, so yeah, so the reading reflects that accuracy. Thank you, Master Paul. My neck feels lighter. Great, Vanessa, great. I look forward to reading per my requests. Crystal joined, great. Lily Dong, hi, Master Paul. Thank you for your blessings. You're very welcome, Lily. Thank you for joining. Kayla Darling, hi, Master Paul. I'm currently experiencing a heaviness in my chest and upper body. It is uncomfortable and at a 6. Okay. Kayla, you're taking on some of the suffering for your daughter because of your open heart. And you're not actually as blessed as your daughter. And so what's happening is you're more of a target. You're easier to attack. Put a Master Sha book on your chest. Do 5 minutes with the calligraphy Dao Guang Jia Shang first, and then go to Da Ai and do another 5 to 10 minutes. That should remove most all of it, and chant Master Sha the whole time. Let us know, because there's many that are watching this that don't know the power of Master Sha. They don't know or understand that you can put one of his books on your chest and receive healing. It would be very valuable for them to know that by following this advice you do that, and what the results are. Thank you. Okay, Lily, I have pain, burning sensation to my left side neck and left arm, presently rate at a 5 to 10 at rest. Lily, what I want you to do is I want you to lift your arm like this. I want you to purposely cause more or less pain. Tell me when it gets to the maximum. For example, it might be up like this and it's a maximum of an 8 when you're like, whatever it might be, because that's when it's resting. Because I got the message you'll be one of my demonstrations, and I need to know specifically where the maximum pain is, because then afterwards you'll do the same kind of a movement and we'll get an accurate measurement, okay? Esther, my God, my pain right now is decreased from a 10 to a 2 in your hands. Wow! Isn't that amazing? The power of forgiveness. And I don't know if you've done anything in association with that reading, Esther, but that's huge. From a 10 down to a 2. We haven't even offered blessings yet. Well, I did ask my higher forgiveness treasures to offer a blessing. But guys, think about it. Prior to knowing any of this wisdom, have you ever come across anything that has caused a pain to go from a 10 to a 2? Anywhere? That is the power of soul healing. That is the power that others need to know about. I encourage you, I beg of you, share these videos on anybody's timeline that you possibly can. Because 1 or 2 souls will wake up and their life will change because of your share. Okay. Now she doesn't feel pain at all. You're so blessed, Esther. Vanessa, I received a soul operation a while ago. That's all I can remember. Good. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Renee, Master Paul, just doing that forgiveness practice made my net go from a 4 to a 1. Thank you for sharing, Renee. Again, very powerful message for everyone to read. Pat JD, I would really appreciate some assistance with my spinal column. Too many years went by with this situation. I can feel your suffering, Pat. I will ask heaven. I will let you know. Crystal Valencia, I have still have some pain in my sacrum and lower back, but significantly better since the blessing that was offered last Friday. I don't remember that, but that's awesome, Crystal. Yeah, I think it was just like at the end of the show, right? Or was it at the beginning of the show? Or maybe it was a soul operation for everybody. I forget. I was very generous one day. I offered a soul operation for everybody. Hello, Master Paul. This is Devin. I'm on Kayla's phone. I have pain on my neck and upper back. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the service. I'm extremely grateful. And Crystal, sorry, typo. What is it? Master Jimena joined. Bow down to you, Master Jimena. Thank you for joining. And Pat JD, the net at this time is not working properly. Why does it keep reoccurring? I'm so happy, Esther and Lily. Okay, we've got to the end. So I have about 20 minutes left. So let me check one thing, please. Okay, so Pat JD, you're very blessed. I will also add you to the blessing list. So Lily Dung and Pat JD, you will both receive today what's called a soul operation blessing. I will also turn on one additional treasure that can assist with the purification of the blessing. First, I will describe a soul operation so you know what it is. And while I'm talking, what I want both of you to do is to stay in that place of forgiveness. I've given you both a soul reading for the source of this issue. I don't think I did one for you, Lily, so let me do a soul reading for you real quick. What I'm getting, Lily, is that it's either you and or someone in your current family that that had created an accident of some kind for somebody else, and they did not take responsibility for it. It wasn't like a hit and run, but that was the message that it came with. It was like a hit and run. And there's a karma associated with that has come to you. It could be you, but the lifetime wasn't that long ago if it was you. Okay? So do forgiveness associated with that. Pat JD, do a forgiveness per the soul reading regarding the mules. Truly call forth their souls. Deeply apologize for the greed. Deeply apologize for their suffering. Stay in that place while I explain the soul operation, and then we'll offer this blessing. A soul operation is a divine healing. It has been gifted to the one known as Dr. and Master Sha, and then transmitted to those healers that have purified enough to be a vessel by which the same healing can go through. A soul operation is when the area of blockage on that person's soul is opened with divine light. The opening is much like a regular operation, except it's done at the level of soul. Earlier I informed you about how soul carries our blockages. The light opens the area. I then move my hands. Your eyes will be closed, those who are receiving, but I open my palms to open the area up. And then I am moving my hands a lot. And what this does is this is clearing the blockages, and it's bringing in tremendous amount of the Divine's light. As with all healings that are soul-based healings, the degree and percentage of success is dependent upon your authentic forgiveness, your connection to those souls that have been harmed, and your deep recognition that you're sorry and that you truly have learned your lessons. If the Divine feels that authentic forgiveness, then the percentage of success could be 100%. If there needs to be some lessons learned, and you have, let's say, a 30, 40, 50, 80% result, then that means that you need to do more forgiveness practice, that some has been left for you. Understand clearly, God created you. Divine created everything. Divine can in one fell swoop clear everything. No problem. But that is not always the case, and there is a very simple reason why. We have to learn our lessons. We must be in a place of forgiveness. So I will now prepare myself to offer this soul operation to those two souls. I'm going to angle my down a little bit here. Good. Okay. So JD and Lily, prepare. While you're at your house, I want both of you to stand up, please. Stand up. I want you to drop your hands by your side. Touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Gently, very gently, just leave it there gently. Bring your thoughts and your breath and your mind down into your lower abdomen. I am still connecting. Continue to ask for forgiveness. Visualize in the areas of suffering golden light. Lily, make sure that you have moved your arms in such a way that you're able to measure the highest pain point, because in a moment I will offer the soul operation, and we want to measure that after a few minutes. Both of you will need to move around a few minutes before we measure. Do not measure immediately. We walk around a few minutes, let the energy take place. Prepare. This blessing is for the soul of Lily Dung, For the condition listed of pain along neck, arm and shoulder, burning sensation. For the soul of Pat JD. For the condition of spinal pain. In all cases, as appropriate. Soul operation begin. Opening. Clearing. If there are anybody on the line that has third eye, please share your third eye images. Ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya ya hey you hey ya ya hey ya ya hey you hey. Soul operation is continuing. Do the source soul song of love, peace, and harmony transmitted to these souls, especially in their neck, shoulder, back, spinal column, all of the muscles, ligaments, tendons, vertebrae, all of the Shen, Qi, and Jing of every aspect of these pain areas. We love you, we honor you, respect you, we thank you for your service. Please turn on. As we chant love, peace, and harmony, please chant with us to serve these souls in the highest way, to offer the virtues so that those souls that have been harmed accept the love, peace, and harmony. Lula, lula, li. Blessing continues. Please remain. Lula, lula, la, li. Lula, lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. 我爱我心儿灵，我爱纯然泪，望玲珑和睦世生，相爱平安和谐，相爱平安和谐。I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony. Eloha maiau, Eloha kakoa pau, E pihili mai puwai kakao. Aloha malie kahi, Aloha malie kahi. 好，好，好. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to my soul operation soul, my other healer soul that I've asked to serve. Please return. Okay, so both of you that received the blessing, walk around now. Don't move the arms and shoulders too much yet. Just move the body. It's important. Remember, the healing occurred at the level of soul, not on the physical body. The soul received the blessings. The physical body will reflect the shift, and sometimes it's not instantaneous. So give it those few minutes. Continue to walk around. Let the qi move. Let the energy move. The Shen, Ji, the Shen, Qi, and Jing, the soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter, has what has been transformed. And the soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter is in both the soul and the body. And so they have to realign to reflect the shift that has occurred. So I'm going to continue to read these while I wait for that. And then in one more minute, keep walking, in one more minute, do a measurement. What is your pain level now? And then go ahead and report. Okay, Lily said her maximum pain on her left arm high and noticeable increases to a left armpit at a rate of 6 to 10. Okay, thank you. Esther, I'm moving my fingers now, no pain. Thank you so much, Master Paul. Now I know how to do forgiveness for specific issues. Very good. Such a huge sharing, Esther. It's so important that you remember to share these in other arenas as well. The power of forgiveness, you know, to have the pain you had in your hands go down to zero with these practices. Amazing. Welcome, Courtney. Thank you. Gloria. I'm guessing Kayla is pushing all those, huh? Because I see these little fiery heads pop up. I don't know if someone's having fun with the phone or not. Katie, during the soul operation, I was shown in my third eye so much light it was creating an opening in the back along the spine, and the light was just flooding in and creating sparks and bursts of light in certain areas in the body. I saw some animals, a big brown horse, a duck, and others come and experience a huge release and blessings for themselves too. There were saints and some saints animals that came to offer their love, light, and assistance and their forgiveness. Thank you, Master Paul, and thank you, Master Sha. We always bow down to Master Sha. Truly, none of these blessings, even the forgiveness practice wisdom, would not be here if it wasn't for Master Sha. We owe our entire awareness and blessings we received to this beloved soul. Gloria, welcome. Thank you, Master Paul. I just joined as you were beginning the soul operation. She's had chronic back pain. I felt happy when you were finished, and she did forgiveness practice. She took a deep breath and noted when the clients often take a deep breath during their shift on blockage, she's very happy. Okay. So thank you, Yvonne, also for your comment. So we're waiting now for the response from Lily and Pat JD. So go ahead and post your comments as to the results you've noticed so far. Renee, when were you doing the soul operation? I felt tingling sensation that runs from the top of my head to the shoulder on the left side. The left side felt cooler than the right and no more pain. So Renee, Divine was very generous to you. I did the soul operation for 2 others, but curiously enough, one of them had pain in the same area as you. Because you responded to my request to join, because of your heart of service, Divine was very generous and gave you additional blessings. So you are very blessed. We call that the splash, because Divine's power has no limits necessarily. We ask it to focus, but those who have open hearts very often receive additional blessings. So dear Master Paul, thank you so much. Catalina had my phone while we were chanting. I thought it was her. She was going happy with those little comments, and some of them were like fiery faces. I says, you know, I don't think Kayla's doing that. Wonderful. The pain increased for a moment before leaving. She feels better now. Wonderful. And she now feels fantastic. There's so much chi moving in her chest. Now this is when you put Master Sha's picture on your body, right? And then you open to the calligraphies. Did you chant the Dao Guang Jia Shang and then the Da Ai? I'm guessing you did. It's a huge release to go from a 6 tension in the chest. It sounds like it's gone. That's so wonderful, the power in the books. You know, sometimes we just need to trust. Master Sha many times has said that he can put more power into a book than he can to a human being. And one of the simple reasons why is because we have too many blockages. We have so much going on in our body that we cannot receive that higher power, that higher frequency, so that we can serve better. So as humans, we have to keep clearing our stuff so we can receive higher healing abilities to serve better. Books, on the other hand, don't carry too much karma. So when he puts power in them, they instantly have huge healing abilities. Little known secret, pay more attention to Master Sha's books. They will bring power into your life. Kayla, yes, you did both. Wonderful. Thank you, Kayla. That's great. Everyone pay attention to Kayla. She used Master Sha's book. She opened it to the calligraphy page, Soul Healing Miracles, put it on her chest, chanted 10 minutes, and a 6 out of 10 pain, tightness in her chest is gone. That's potent. Thank you, Kayla. Okay, Lily, thank you, Master Paul, for the soul operation. I have noticed a diminished pain in left armpit. It's a 1 out of a 10 now, after the blessings and presently feel almost no burning sensation in her arm. She will continue to practice the forgiveness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is so awesome, Lily. Truly appreciate that sharing. Very, very wonderful sharing. And you know, it's something where oftentimes if we're left that little bit, that's all we really need to do. You have, everybody has, all souls, transmitted to their soul a soul song called Love, Peace, and Harmony. And this song is like it's a all we have to do is acknowledge it and say, can you please serve me? By acknowledging this soul, dear love, peace, harmony, transmitted to my soul, can you please serve me? As I chant love, peace, and harmony, can you please help me to bless this area of blockage? Even wiser, can you please bless all the other souls that have the same area of blockage as me? Why do you think that works even better? Because you're being selfless. You might at first, of course, do it to serve yourself. You know you're doing it to serve yourself. But if you do this consistently, dear all souls, I've had back pain for a while. And I realize that it's because I've harmed others. Let me serve you. Let me turn on love, peace, and harmony. I invite all the souls all over the world who have spine pain to turn on your love, peace, harmony. I will chant with you and for you. I invite you to chant with me to bring healing and blessing to your sign in whatever way love, peace, harmony decides. You are not doing the healing. You did not take responsibility. Ask love, peace, harmony to heal their spine. Chant, chant, chant. Their spines will feel better. Their souls will be so grateful. They will send you virtue. Your spine will, of course, feel better. It's very simple. What have we been told since the beginning of time? Everything is one. When we serve others, who are we serving? It's the same. Katie, thank you, Master Paul, for the explanation of the tailbone pain I was experiencing. During the program, I have been listening to the Yin Yang Energy and Matter Circle Mantra by Master Sha. Yeah, that was as suggesting, the 7 soul houses. And I can feel the energy moving and the pain is lessening. I can feel my heart center opening again. Great, Katie. Great, 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 great. And check your guidance if you need to do some way in practice. Stalled there for a minute. I don't know why the signal is weak. I'm working off a pretty strong internet signal, but it shows to be a little weak. I apologize. And we're waiting for our final comments from Pat JD. So Pat JD, please let us know. We might have lost your signal trying to tune into us, so we might have to catch up to your response later. We're at the end of the hour. Please look above you, somewhere on this page where I'm at, there should be something that says follow. If you haven't followed this live streaming, try to find that button. If you touch it, then what happens is every time I go live, you'll be aware of it, instead of tracking me down to my page to try to catch me at that time. Because you might be out driving around and you're unable to do that. So when you excuse me. So when you are out driving around and you have checked the screen to make sure that I am one of those that you are following, then you'll always be able to catch up to me whenever you would like. And let's see if this is refreshed. Seems like the video ended. Okay, so I believe you're still here. I still see people coming on. We're going to do a wrap up now. Please share. At the end of this, share it with other people. If you want to share it to an individual's timeline, if you want to do it to an individual's timeline, you can copy paste the URL and message it to them, or put that even in an email to them. Let other people know about the value of this service. I often do soul readings. Today was focused on healings. Yesterday was focused on finances. Earlier in the week I was focusing on soulmate. Go to my website. I listed above me here, asoulhealer.com. Allow me to serve you. Those who did not receive services today does not mean you cannot receive individual and personal services. Soul operations, they're very affordable. They can fit into anybody's budget. And when you look at the cost of 1 or 2 massages or chiropractor appointments, you've honored for one of those already. And the good news is this often works for a long, long time, if not permanently. There are higher level healings that can assure that these blessings last for a long, long time. They have a little higher honor fee, but the people that receive those rarely, if ever, have the suffering for the rest of their life. It's that powerful. So contact me, allow me to serve you. You can Facebook me on the messages. You can call me. You can go to my page, it'll have my phone number on there. I don't want to release it here in this way because it's just a bit too public. But there are a multitude of ways to connect with me if you need to. So I'm so honored to serve you in this way. I thank you all for joining. I thank you, Master Gina, for joining, Monica for joining. I thank you all those that I have not acknowledged, all those that watch this in the future. Thank you for coming. I appreciate all of you. I love you all. I will finish with one final blessing. Please make a request. Ten more seconds. Blessing begin. Hey ya hey ya hey ya yo ya hey ya hey ya yo ya hey ya yo hey la hey ya hey yo hey ya ya hey ya hey ya yo